Well, there we are, but a queen of fat bottom girls. Karen Degen could be the girl for you, really, to help you with your fat bottom, potentially.
That was an interesting lead-in, wasn't it? I thought you were going to say I had a fat bottom from
No, are you serious? No, you're just too gorgeous for words. But hey, there's nothing wrong with a fat bottom. Bit of cushion, they say, isn't it? Kim Kardashian's taken to a whole different level, hasn't she, with hers?
Yeah, well, actually, that's a good lead into something I was going to bring up today. A few months back, I was at the hairdressers reading one of those women's magazines.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, and there was an article written about, I always make sure I pronounce this correctly, Magda Zubensky. She's the lady on Kath and Kim, the bigger lady.
And
she was
fab.
Yeah, she is fab. And she was the ambassador for Jenny Craig for a while. And as you know, she lost a lot of weight and she looked amazing. And then not only did she put it all back on, but she put on more than when she'd started.
I didn't realise that.
Yeah, and so Jenny Craig aren't using her anymore. But this article, they'd interviewed Magda and she said, I emotionally eat. She said, food is my go-to thing. And I thought, bless her, that's what most people are like. Most people emotionally eat. Why is it that these weight loss companies aren't addressing the emotional contributors to people's eating behaviour? Because, you know, the willpower, and she must have used a lot of willpower to stick to it for as long as she did, but it can't last when the emotional drivers are still there.
Yeah,
and that's why most diets don't work, because they're not addressing that. And of course, that's one of the things I do, is help people who want to lose weight by addressing the reasons why they comfort eat or why they emotionally eat.
So that willpower is triggered by the emotions you're feeling in general about life?
Well, the desire to eat. Oh, I don't know if you may be old enough to remember this. There was an ad on TV, I think it was an ad for a bank a few years back, and it was the money in someone's wallet or purse used to talk to them, and it would say, oh, there's a nice jacket, let's buy it. You know, and the money would like drag them towards the shop. It was quite funny. And I think that my brain does that to me. For me, one of the emotional drivers for me if I'm comfort eating will be boredom. Be different for everyone. But if no, it's not boredom. It's if I find something, if I'm really struggling with something I'm working on, particularly on the computer, and it's really hard, my mind will go, let's eat. And it will try and drag me into the kitchen. And it's just a thought that goes, let's eat. and I know it's a distraction because I'm really struggling, that I'm finding what I'm working on quite hard. And if my brain does that, imagine what everyone else is doing is, oh, there's a feeling that I don't want to have, or there's a thought that I just don't want to think about, and it's not even conscious. No. We've just got that urge to go and eat.
It's a comfort, isn't it?
It's actually a distraction. And a lot of people aren't even conscious that they're using it as a distraction. You know, some people use alcohol, some people use drugs, other people choose food. There's lots of different distractions. Food is a distraction for many people from the thoughts and feelings that we're uncomfortable with, and we're not even aware of it.
So how are the people that actually recognise, okay, that I do have a problem with my weight, but they're exercising and they're eating well, but they're still not losing weight?
Yeah, that's really interesting, Andrea, because it's actually the stress hormones. You know, when we're under stress, our brain releases certain hormones into our blood, like cortisol and adrenaline. We're well aware of those ones after our earthquakes. And, you know, if we go back in time, sort of, you know, the beginning of humanity, say caveman times, there was danger everywhere. So the brain developed, either we weren't afraid of, there could be a lion behind every bush, right? Either we weren't afraid, in which case we could get eaten, or we could be afraid of every single bush. So the brain actually developed to make us afraid of everything.
Right.
And I'm actually having a bit of a brain drain here for the moment, is that I'm thinking of something different.
Need some food, love. Need some food. I haven't got anything to give you either. I've got some water. That's what it is.
Some chocolate really
Some chocolate.
So that's actually why the brain can be negative and afraid of everything, and we have to retrain the brain. But actually, I've gone off on a different tangent. I actually wanted to tell you a different story, that in the past, when we were under stress, it's probably because we were running from one of those lions behind the bushes, running from a lion, or perhaps there was a natural disaster, and so food was in short supply. So when the brain gets this message with the cortisol, adrenaline, the stress hormones, it's a message to the body that says food is in short supply, or we're in danger, so we won't have a chance to eat. So it says to the body, hold on to fat.
Right, okay. Yeah.
So that was all well and good, but the problem is now in our stressful lives, we're under stress all of the time. So whenever, all day, every day, when we're under stress, our brain is releasing these hormones into the body, which is telling the body, hold on to fat.
There you go, it's simple. Okay, Karen Degen, putting you on the spot here. I want to lose weight, I need your help. How are you going to do it?
Okay, I'm going to ask you questions as to what your eating habits are, why you eat at certain times of the day. Actually, what I'd do is set an eating plan in conjunction with you, and then we would work on all the reasons why you think you can't stick to it.
Rightio.
That would be the main thing.
Sounds good.
And also,
Rightio.
do we have time for a wee tip today or not?
Well, a very quick one.
Or don't say to yourself, I can't have that, or I'm not allowed, because we want to rebel.
Okay.
Instead, tell yourself, I can have as much of that as I like, I'm just choosing not to right now.
Love it, like it. You're so good. Thanks for getting that one in there.